qualifying, it really means a lot to us, and it was a good game. It was a very good game. We're really proud. Like, it's a bit emotional for me, but yeah, I'm really proud of my country.
Costa Rica's victory means they will take their place in Group E in Qatar, along with Spain, Germany and Japan. After 864 matches, 2,426 goals, 209 teams have now become 32, the flags of which are now flying proudly in Doha, awaiting the fans in November. Next month, we visit the southern city of Al Wakra to discover another of Qatar's iconic venues. We continue to follow how the national teams are preparing for the big event. And we take a look inside one of the world's most sophisticated sports museums.
These folks don't have time to go to the post office. They use Stamps.com. All the services of the post office, only cheaper. Get a 4-week trial plus postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com/TV and never go to the post office again.
Keeping my family healthy is my top priority. Thankfully, I discovered Aquasana. Their water filters remove the contaminants I worry about most. It's a must for my healthy home. Visit Aquasana.com today to get up to 50% off.
Hey, honey, sunscreen. We shop with Ibotta because it gives us cash back on everything we buy.
Is that why it's shooting money all over me?
It's a visual metaphor to show there's cash back in everything.
In-store, online, there's cash back in everything you buy. Your cravings are as unique as you are. And with over 1,400 delicious snacks, Nuts.com can satisfy everyone. Salty, sweet, healthy, or indulgent. Unbelievable variety, unbeatable freshness. And right now, get free shipping on your first order.
Guys, help me understand something. If hair loss is one of the biggest insecurities men face, and it's totally treatable, why haven't you done anything about it? Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration experts, are here to help. Bosley uses the latest technology and science to give you your real hair back permanently. That's a promise backed by the Bosley Guarantee. And right now, they've got an incredible free offer for you. If you send that text down below, they're going to give you the completely free Bosley info kit. You're also going to get a $250 free Bosley gift card. Guys, do not wait. Do not suffer the insecurity that I know that a lot of you guys are suffering with. Bosley is a solution for you at any stage of hair loss, which is something that I love. Do you think these guys are happy they went to Bosley? So guys, what are you waiting for? Go see Bosley, send the text, and get your real hair back.
For your free information kit and free gift card for $250 off, text ALWAYS to 654-654. Ask about the Bosley Guarantee. Text ALWAYS to 654-654.
Why pay over $100 a month for cable when it's half the cost for Fubo TV? Get all the channels you want with all the entertainment you love for the price that cable can't beat. Try free at FuboTV.com.
Saturday is baseball night in America on Fox. Baseball's oldest rivalry is ready for its next chapter as the Giants battle the Dodgers. I was born to win. Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
Come on, Percy.
Yeah, let's go!
On a trip, book with Priceline.
You save more so you can woo more.
Yeah, feel the savings. Priceline, every trip is a big deal.
My car is my after-work decompression zone.
So when my windshield broke, I found the experts at Safelite Auto Glass. They have exclusive technology and service I can trust.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
What's my Safelite story? My truck is my livelihood. So when my windshield cracked, the experts at Safelite Auto Glass came right to me with service I could trust. Right, girl?
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Back to win, then on So You Think You Can Dance.
For the first time ever, the dancers will be going head to head.
My heart just dropped.
Half of us are going home.
All new MasterChef, followed by an all new So You Think You Can Dance, Wednesday on Fox.
A fixture that only North America can offer. Two perennial, imposing, and at times imperious continental powerhouses go toe-to-toe in a place that simply loves entertainment. As we welcome you to Allegiant Stadium and the opening fixture of the Soccer Champions Tour, it's Chivas Guadalajara against Juventus. Callum Williams alongside former Premier League defender Matt Lawrence, your commentary team. Matt, what an occasion we have ahead of us here today.
Yeah, we really do. Who would think that we were here in North America? It feels like we are actually centred in Guadalajara. We hardly see any Juventus fans here. It's all Chivas fans. Absolutely red and white throng throughout the stadium, Cal.
So Juventus will undoubtedly act as the away team, as you say today. A cacophony of noise inside the stadium. The majority supporting those in red and white. But with regards to the opponent today, Matt, Juventus, it's been an intriguing last couple of years for them, finishing fourth in Serie A over the last two campaigns, losing the league title to both Milan clubs. It's clear at the moment they have several issues.
Yeah, it's been a steady decline over the last 4 years. Granted, 2018-19, 2019-20, they did win Serie A titles, their 8th and 9th titles from 2011 through to 2020. But even then, it was going downhill. 90 points in 2018-19, then followed by 83 points, then 78, then 70. It's a steady but slow decline of 20 points they have dropped in the last 4 seasons. And looking at last season as a whole, 4th, 16 points behind Milan, 14 points behind Inter, 9 points behind Napoli. Knocked out in the last 16 of the Champions League by Villarreal, and of course losing the Coppa Italia final 4-2 to Inter as well. So yeah, steady but sure decline for Juventus.
And what of Chivas Guadalajara, Matt Lawrence, as well? Coming off the back of a 0-0 draw against Club Leon in Apertura matchday play just several days ago. What are the realistic expectations for them today?
Well, must do better, really. What they're going to do today is look at the reserve team. Let's not forget they only played 2 days ago, so they haven't started any of that team, of course. Goal scoring's their problem, Cal. Only 1 goal in their 4 games, 1 goal in 360 minutes of football, even though they've created a whole host of chances. 36 shots, 19 on target, but only 1 goal. That's a big worry. It's a massive worry for their new head coach.
So then, Juventus playing their first game of this pre-season tour here in North America. A starting 11 with a mixture of experience and youth. No doubt, Matt Lawrence, the majority watching on around the world will, I'm assuming, be of the opinion that it's very good to have Paul Pogba back in Juventus colours.
Yeah, look, Manchester United fans are probably going to be looking through the cracks of their fingers because they know they're going to see a regenerated, a rejuvenated, a refocused Paul Pogba. This is somebody that Juventus sold for $115 million a few years ago, and they've got him back on a free. Have Man United really themselves just got themselves to blame? Is this all Juventus? Is this where he belongs? Is he coming home, so to speak?
And of course the man in charge of Juventus these days is that man, Maxi Allegri. 54 years of age, of course, in his second spell as Juventus boss, ex-Cagliari and AC Milan. He was in charge of Milan the last time they won the title prior to last season, back in the 2010-2011 Serie A campaign. Well, at the moment, all sorts of uncertainty for that man, Ricardo Cardena, the man who, at the moment, is in charge of Chivas Guadalajara. Had a spell, of course, in charge of the reserves and the academy, was the interim coach last season. A 5-1-0 record impressed enough for him to earn the job full-time. As for the lineup for Chivas Guadalajara, unsurprisingly, Matt, as we mentioned, after a 0-0 tie against Club Leon on Wednesday, 11 adjustments, a starting 11 full of intrigue.
Yeah, it really does. And look, these are lesser players. These are players who play predominantly in the reserves. You've got a number of players out there who have only got a few minutes of Liga MX action under their belts. It's going to be intriguing to see how they fare against pretty much a full-string Juventus side.
So then, both teams set and ready to go. Allegiant Stadium, the host place, and a decent crowd gathering here as well. Wojciech Szczesny, the former Arsenal goalkeeper, looking to once again have another successful spell with Juventus. Chivas Guadalajara know that so much more is expected of them moving forward. The result against Juventus here certainly wouldn't harm. So then, many would argue plenty to prove in their starting 11 for both Juventus and Chivas Guadalajara. And so, away we go. One fresh, vibrant, re-equipped and looking ahead to what could possibly be, with the start of their season a month away. The other beyond desperate to reassert themselves as one of the continental forces of North America. From Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Juventus against Chivas Guadalajara. Callum Williams and Matt Lawrence, your commentary team. Matt, what should we expect in the early stages of this one?
Well, the Juventus are going to want to get on the ball. They're going to want to dictate possession, as we're seeing already. Neat, silky interchanges of play, specifically in the middle third of the pitch. But as we know too often as well there with Di Maria, Angel Di Maria, we know that at times he takes too many touches and he gives the ball away here. We mustn't forget, though, Juve, they haven't got a league game, they haven't got a competitive match per se until August the 15th when they host Sassuolo. That's just over 3 weeks away. They're a long way behind, of course, Chivas Guadalajara, who are already 4 games into their season.
Juventus with games to come against Barcelona in Dallas, Real Madrid in Los Angeles, and they finished their pre-season tour in Tel Aviv against Atletico Madrid. But all eyes now for Maxi Allegri and co, focusing on this particular match and Las Vegas. Chivas Guadalajara, after an uncharacteristic poor start to Liga MX, with a litany of players here looking to make their mark. And here's one of them now, in the shape of Perez, 19-year-old academy player, eager to show the staff what he can offer. Punts and a clip forward to the back post caused a moment of question for the Juve backline, and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, certainly neat play here from Chivas. The cross was slightly overhit there. Comfortable, really, for Danilo just to be able to see it out of the back post, and probably no surprise here to see Juventus as well from the goal kick, playing it from the 6-yard box.
The target would have been Da Graça. Pogba involved in the centre of midfield. Here's Danilo. Locatelli. Into Juan Cuadrado. Operating as a fullback nowadays. The Colombian former Chelsea man. Nia. Miguel Ponce. Chivas Guadalajara with no win in their opening 4 Apertura matches this season. 6th in last year's Clausura. Knocked out at the quarter-final stages, of course, in the final stages by the eventual champions Atlas, and they have an opening here. Decent ball played across goal, and it required an intervention which came from Juan Cuadrado.
Cuadrado it is, who turns it behind at the back post, but it's sweeping, it's incisive, this break from Chivas, and you have to give Federico Gatti some real credit there for just holding off Zaldívar, the number 9, wearing the 9, playing as a 9, centre forward for Chivas.
So can Chivas conjure from here? Pavel Perez, the man over the set piece, and a litany of Chivas Guadalajara players to aim for. Near post he goes, and Juve comfortable under pressure. Here's Pogba. Stride for stride, pushing Juventus forwards. Angel Di Maria. The clip of the heels, and a free kick to Juventus.
And it's great defending from Juventus from the corner kick. And it's a swift, incisive break. Pogba breaking through the middle. He glides effortlessly over the turf here at Allegiant Stadium. They tried to pull him back. Didn't quite happen, but that's what you expect to see, Callum, from Paul Pogba.
It's Federico Gatti. 24 years of age, spent last year on loan at Frosinone in Serie B, the second tier of Italian football. Danilo, ex-Manchester City and Real Madrid centre-half. This cue from Juventus, picked up by Di Maria. Lovely ball off it forward, Keane! Glorious opening for Juventus.
Well, it's a really poor ball given away in the centre from Chivas Guadalajara. Just a ball lofted through the middle. Keane has to get on the end of that. Goes at it with a big toe, but has to do better.
Of course, Moises Keane is still technically on loan from Everton in the Premier League.
Well, he's happy not to be there, that's for certain. I think you got a quite close look at Everton and just recently in pre-season, Callum.
I think the less we talk about that, the better. Save the Evertonians the blushes, shall we? Quadrado playing as a fullback once again for Juventus. Premier League and 5-time Serie A winner. And involved again here. Well, interestingly enough, the last time these two teams played each other was the summer of 2011 on the opposite end of the country in Raleigh, North Carolina. Juventus victorious on that particular occasion over Chivas Guadalajara by 1-0. Quagliarella, the goal scorer on that particular occasion. Coutinho. Thrust down the line. Several and Chivas colours to chase. Here come Juventus. Pogba. Real opening here. Keane eager to keep the move alive. Pogba showed an interest as well, and now it's the turn of Chivas Guadalajara. Immediately the referee blowing the whistle after a moment of rash indiscipline in the centre of midfield.
Yeah, it certainly is a poor challenge from Danilo in the centre of the park. I'll go with you, it was certainly rash. Gets a little nutmeg. Does Danilo make sure he didn't get the ball, but he makes sure he follows through and gets the man. But for me, Callum, at the moment, we're seeing the best of Pogba, the way he's getting high up the field as well. It's really starting to dictate things for Juventus. It's almost, he's wearing that 10, almost playing as a 10. At times we saw him playing for Manchester United as a deep-lying midfielder, as a 6, and he almost sulked playing through games there. Here he looks much more imperious.
Perhaps he and Juve can push themselves forward through a set piece. An imposing 8 minutes from the Italians. And Pogba! Needed saving. Rangel there to push the ball away. Pogba looks in the mood tonight, man.
Yes, he really does. He just gets the ball out of his feet with the outside of that right boot. strikes across the ball, cuts right across the ball, imparts spin, swerve on the ball. Rangel meets it with a double fist and turns it behind for a corner.
High hanging ball in. It's up by Cuadrado, who is forced to retreat for the time being. Gatti. Niccolo Fascioli. Some youngsters combining for Juve. There is Locatelli. Sandro surveying the scene. Angel Di Maria. Lovely turn from him. Di Maria's enticing ball in. Behind for a corner. And Juventus with a glimpse and a flash of their quality again.
Well, that's where he's at his most dangerous, Angel Di Maria. Out on the flanks, this time out on the left-hand side. Cuts back with the inside of his right foot and just whips that ball in with the inside of his left foot into the top of the 6-yard box. Corner kick, Juventus.
Di Maria's ball in. It's the woodwork and in. Less than 10 minutes played in Las Vegas. Juventus have themselves the lead. They took a gamble at the far post, and boy did it pay off for them. Juventus won, Chivas Guadalajara 0. De Grassa, the youngster with the goal.
Well, this is all about being alert in the penalty area, and he is exactly that as the ball comes back off the post from that header from Federico Gatti. He's alert, he's alive, he's that fox in the box. It's the young centre forward, De Grassa. And he hits it into the roof of the net with the inside of the right foot. That is what you want from your centre forwards. Alert to any rebounds. Always expect a mistake from a goalkeeper. Always expect a rebound back off the keeper. On this occasion, back off the foot of the post. It's a good finish from the youngster. 1-0 early on here, Callum.
De Grassa, she's 20 years of age, the ex-Italian under-16 international. Joined in 2019 from Palermo. He's playing very well. Put himself further into the mindset of Maxi Allegri. With an early goal here against Chivas Guadalajara. Locatelli. Chivas back in possession through Ponce. Well, the Chivas Guadalajara troubles go on. It's not been the start of the campaign they would have hoped for. And after an irritating start to the Liga MX season in Mexico, a brief and short trip to the US continues in terms of irritation. Di Maria now on the ground.
Well, and he's getting boos, isn't he, Angel Di Maria? But we know he does have that innate ability to go over at the merest of touches, Di Maria. We've seen it when he was playing for Manchester United, Real Madrid, PSG. He can go over easily. No surprise that he's back up and on his feet.
Di Maria, the Argentine international, as you mentioned, arrived in the summer on a free transfer from Paris Saint-Germain. Paul Pogba, the other high-profile free transfer arrival.
It's not bad at all, is it, if you can get those two boys in on frees. Granted, Di Maria coming to the end of his career, of course, 34, 35 next year. But Paul Pogba really should be in his pump, should be in his heyday.
It's been a very busy off-season for Juventus from a transfer point of view. Of course, Giorgio Chiellini arriving on these shores and signing with LAFC after a distinguished Juventus career. Here they come from an attacking point of view. It's Paul Pogba. Stern challenge that was needed came in. Sandro now picking up the scraps for Juventus. Paul Pogba. Sandro, and last towards goal. Chivas eventually scramble the danger away. Enticing stuff from the Italians.
It really is. It's men against boys right now. We probably shouldn't be surprised. Yes, Chivas Guadalajara were well into their season, but this 11 we see today, these are players who haven't got many minutes under their belt. These are players who aren't particularly match fit themselves, similar to Juventus. First true friendly here for Juventus of the season, 3 weeks away from the season. Sassuolo coming up on August the 15th. But looking at this, it looks to me as though Juventus very much at the races here. They're enjoying this, and they're certainly enjoying the fact that the roof is on, Callum, and that the air conditioning is on, because they would not want to be playing in the heat of outside here at Allegiant Stadium.
Temperatures soaring as high as 107 Fahrenheit today here. Cool 75 inside the stadium. Here's Keane. Lovely ball clipped forward for Angel Di Maria. In his stride. Here comes the Argentine. Di Maria. Guadrado trying to return it. Cleverly done as Chivas manoeuvre forwards. Architects of their own downfall here, though, giving the ball away cheaply. Doing well to retain possession amongst the pressing nature of Juve.
Well, you've hit the nail on the head there, Callum. It may only be a quarter of an hour in, it may be the beginning of pre-season for Juventus, but that pressing nature, it's right here, it's highly evident. Anytime they lose the ball, they're trying desperately to win it back within the next 2 or 3 seconds. It's showing. They may not be able to do this for the full 90 minutes, certainly not here at the beginning of pre-season, but it will come. They look alert, they look lively, and there's very much a togetherness for this Juventus side. I know that may be a little bit tried just 15 minutes into the game, but you can just feel it there. They're oozing that togetherness and confidence, the Juventus players.
We spoke about it briefly just prior to kick-off. Finished 4th in the Serie A standings in the last 2 seasons. Prior to that, they had won the league title 8 years in a row. One would suggest, Matt, that they are in need of a tweak or two.
Yeah, I think they are. It's no surprise to see a number of players going out and a number coming in. And the older heads as well, I think, Callum, the likes of Chiellini going out. Bonucci, we know he's on the bench today. We're not sure whether he's going to play or not, of course. But you figure his career is coming to the end as well. I'm sure he wouldn't like me saying that. I'm sure he thinks he's got another year or 2 at the top. But that's why we're seeing the younger players coming in, the likes of Bremer, the Brazilian centre-half. He's on the bench too.
Juventus clearly insist on playing a certain way. Maybe Chivas can take advantage here. Perez. The ball forward, which is well cut off on the far side by Sandro. Jesus Sanchez now with a throw. With 250 Liga MX appearances for the right back of Chivas Guadalajara. They find a way through here. This is Neros. Happy to retreat for the time being. It seems as though an issue has been recognised, and straight away the referee wandering over to see what the issue is.
Well, certainly the fans, the majority of them being Chivas Guadalajara fans here at the Allegiant Stadium, they were calling. They were certain it was a foul. The referee didn't see anything. Certainly Pogba sticks his foot in there, and you do see just the left studs roll over the right foot of the Chivas player. Probably should have been a free kick. The referee just got himself the wrong side, though. He's trying to look through too many bodies. It was tough for him to see it.
Well, another Chivas Guadalajara player find themselves on the ground. This time, though, it does result in a free kick for his side.
brother. And whether this was a Chivas free kick or whether this should have been a Juventus free kick, you just sensed that our referee was always going to be erring on the side of caution and handing the next free kick to Chivas. It's almost the psychology of a human. Callum, he thought he'd make a mistake previously. He heard it from the crowd. Next decision, straight to the Mexican side, Chivas.
Well, Pavel Perez, the player standing over the ball, has made 4 appearances off the bench in Liga MX this season as he slowly makes his way into first team consideration. Whipped ball in. Juventus able to steer away the danger. Sanchez back into the path of Rangel.
Yeah, they've defended set pieces well so far, have Juventus. They've been first to everything going into their 18-yard box, whether coming from corners or free kicks.
So just short of 20 minutes here in Las Vegas, Matt Lawrence. What have been your observations so far?
Well, it hasn't played out like a pre-season friendly, that's for sure. Both sides very much been playing on the front foot. Look, Juventus, the better side, not only dictating the possession statistics, but of course the scoreline as well. But Chivas Guadalajara, we must not forget, this is pretty much their reserve side. These are players who haven't had many Liga this season, and a number of the players not in their career full stop. There is not a single player out there who played in their last league game. Granted, it was only just a couple of days ago on Wednesday, that 0-0 draw against Leon. But they're certainly holding themselves in pretty good stead here, Chivas, today.
A starting 11 that sees 11 changes for those of you joining us late for Chivas Guadalajara. After a handy 0-0 draw and a point gained against Club Leon on Wednesday. They offer something here. In the end, the ball ricocheting behind, but it does go behind for a corner.
Yeah, they'll certainly take this, Chivas. As I said, Juventus have been defending set pieces very well. For Chivas Guadalajara, it's all about trying to find the back of the net. Just 1 goal in their 4 games in Liga MX's play so far. 1 goal in 360 minutes. Not good enough.
Crowd holds its breath. Towards the back post it goes. Takers this time as Di Maria now manoeuvres forward in fabulous fashion for Juventus, who are unable to continue their move. Another really vital piece of defending from Cisneros. Here comes Chivas. Cisneros stopped in his tracks by Locatelli. Mia. Cleverly done by the youngster Garcia. They found a way through. Well, that stubborn Juventus backline. Ponce saw his name in tomorrow's headlines. Not what Chivas Guadalajara were hoping for.
No, and while this may be a pre-season friendly, this is not what you want to see if you're a Chivas fan. It's certainly what you want to see if you're a Juventus player. Here is that cheeky little move from Perez, the youngster. Nice little nutmeg. They're certainly not short of confidence, these youngsters, for Chivas.
Garcia down under a challenge. Unable to manoeuvre forwards, albeit momentarily. Fascioli in midfield for Juventus, and now Angel Di Maria. Teasing and toying the Chivas Guadalajara backline, unable to squeeze it through this time though. Good piece of defending from Iram Mir. Doing his best impression of Matt Lawrence in his heyday.
But Matt Lawrence in his heyday would have had a nosebleed there, would have required a little bit of a tissue from the referee, and then may have tripped over the ball. But thank you very much, Callum, I appreciate it.
Briseño. Sanchez. Here's Keane. Pogba ahead. Moises Keane. And the ricochet falls in favour of Chivas Guadalajara, much to the dismay of Moises Keane.
Yeah, Moises Keane, he's just got such wonderful pace and acceleration over those initial 5 or 10 yards. Granted, at times it's that end product that you demand from him. Certainly didn't see it at Everton, that's for certain. But we know he's there, we know he has that ability. And that pace, that lightning fast opening 5 or 10 yards just takes him past defender upon defender. But then we need to see him just settle, take that breath, take that sigh of relief almost, and deliver with quality. Doesn't always come from Keane.
Here's the deep-lying Manuel Locatelli, of course in the middle of a 2-year loan spell from Sassuolo. As you mentioned, Matt, they do open their campaign against Juventus too on the opening day of the Serie A campaign. Here's Cuadrado. Locatelli again. Easily into the grasp of Rangel, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, the ball's far too straight there from Locatelli. Unless it's going into the chest of the Graca, there's nothing he can do about it. Going that straight as well, it's going to hit the surface. One skip off the wet surface here. It's been nicely watered here at Allegiant Stadium and always going into the welcoming arms of the goalkeeper, Raul Rangel.
Here's Pogba. Gatti. Pogba now dictating. Cleverly done from the Frenchman. Former Manchester United man evading the nearest challenger. Di Maria. Cuadrado. Pogba slips it through in behind. An alert piece of goalkeeping from Rangel, but lovely build-up from Juventus, Matt.
Yeah, great build-up from Juventus, and it's not just outfield players who need to play on the front foot, it's goalkeepers as well. The way he came out there, Raul Rangel, just swept up the danger, came out at the feet of the Juventus player. Really good goalkeeping from the youngster.
Gatti. Lofty ball forward, only met by the head of Sanchez. And here's Miguel Ponce. Ponce, a player who was part of the 2014 Mexico World Cup team. Cisneros now in the meantime. Manoeuvring forward and perhaps a chance to open up here. Gatti doing his due diligence defensively. And a Juventus throw.
Yeah, this is what Chivas Guadalajara have struggled with. Once they get into that final third, it's all about creating opportunities. We have mentioned time and time again, just 1 goal in 4 league games in Liga MX played, 1 goal in 360 minutes. At times they do take shots. They've had 64 shots in 4 games. It's just all about choosing that right option at times. And so far, with this being the virtual reserve side, we've seen very little in that final third.
Here's Perez. And now Ponce. Briseño over to the area from whence it came. Chivas Guadalajara unable to keep the ball in play on this near side. Particularly the inventive Cisneros.
He was doing well down this left-hand side, is the number 24, Cisneros. But again, up until a point, flattering to deceive slightly at the moment. When he gets into that final third, there hasn't been a delivery, whether that be a delivery and a shot on target or a delivery with a cross into the box. Certainly the centre forward, Zaldivar, the 9 of Chivas, has seen very little of the ball.
At the other ends now, Moises Keane and Juventus manoeuvre forward. Sandro, former FC Porto and Santos left back, won the Copa Libertadores with Santos back in 2011. Here's Di Maria. He has an extensive trophy cabinet. The Argentine thrusting forward now for Keane, Pogba and Di Maria. Well, it lined up nicely for him. Had it not have been for the intervention, Juventus may very well have just scored one of the goals of the pre-season. Fagioli. The grass are battling. And eventually the officials awarding a free kick to Chivas Guadalajara.
It sounded as though the whistle came a little bit late from the referee, Damien Parchment, but it's tough to hear here. It may be a pre-season friendly, but it's raucous, it's loud, it's vociferous here inside Allegiant Stadium. And all of the noise really generated by the Mexican fans. Very few Juventus fans here, Callum.
It is boisterous and bouncing here in Las Vegas. Today we've seen a few Chivas Guadalajara fans just enjoying the festivities here in Las Vegas. Majority of the hotels booked up. Here's Keane. Flashes a ball over to the far side. Di Maria. And now Keane. And still Juventus press forwards. And Sanchez there to clear away the danger. Pogba. Lovely lofted pass into Di Maria. Angled ball forward. And now it's still Pogba. Unable to test the goalkeeper, but behind for a corner.
Well, the two freebies have been at the heart of absolutely everything good for Juventus. Di Maria and Pogba have been fantastic. Here's Moises Keane with the attempted bicycle. He whiffs. And then this is Di Maria. And that lovely little ball just feathered into Pogba. He has to strike Pogba, but realises he can't kick through players. He goes for the nutmegs, but he wins the corner. And it's where a goal came from. Their first goal came from a corner kick, Callum.
Can they find another? Cuadrado's ball in. Gatti was rising. Sandro towards goal, and the referee has blown the whistle in favour of Chivas Guadalajara, much to his annoyance. After 32 minutes or so, Matt Lawrence, what will Max Allegri be thinking after what he's seen so far?
I think he will be pretty happy with what he's seen so far. I think any manager or head coach of the potential and the quality of Allegri will find a number of things that he wants to work on.
Now then, that is very, very nearly a spectacular moment for Juventus. And in particular, Fagioli in the centre of midfield.
Well, he'll also want to be working on his long-range shooting and just make sure that shots go on target. But I joke, this is magnificent, it really is. The strike there on a rope, just a yard off target from Fagioli. The panache from Fagioli. Also the fact that he's just having a little look under his eyebrows as well. He's seen the goalkeeper off his line. That really wasn't far away. If that's on target, it's nestling in the back of the net. Raul Rangel was beating all ends up there. He was so unsure of where that ball was ending up.
Fagioli, another player who spent the last campaign on loan in the second tier of Italian football. Garcia. And here's Perez. Miguel Ponce. Thunderous ball forward to the path of Cisneros again. The instigator for Chivas Guadalajara. Pinged over to the far side. Sanchez unable to play the ball in. Here's Mir, and into Ponce once more. Well, the idea was right, the execution not so much. So then, this was very nearly a sensational moment.
Absolutely magnificent. He'd already seen that the goalkeeper was off his line at Fagioli, and look how close that is. Just takes a coat of paint off the upright there, does Fagioli. Quite tremendous. And that's what you always say about central midfielders. Always have a picture in your head as the ball's coming towards you. And as the ball was rolling towards him, he knew the goalie was 15 yards off his line. He'd already looked. He didn't need to take a second look. And he clipped the ball in. Really was a tremendous strike. So unfortunate for Fagioli.
Perez on the far side. Down under the challenge. No whistle. Pogba down as well. Here comes Chivas Guadalajara. Effort towards goal. It's saved by Szczesny. First time he's really been tested here this evening. And signs of life in front of goal from Chivas Guadalajara. At the other end, though, here's Di Maria. Running into the referee, who has to stop the play. Well, it started extremely promising for Juventus and ends rather bizarrely. First and foremost, was there a foul in this build-up?
Absolutely. There was 2 fouls for me. Initially, this is a foul by Pogba. This is well taken by Szczesny. Nice soft hands and gathers in at the second attempt. It is the first time he's been tested. And then here you see this coming together between referee Damien Parchment and Di Maria. The referee gets it all wrong. Di Maria, just previous to that though, Callum, Moises Keane on the far side was all open, was alone. The counter-attack would have been so much better if he'd have just got the ball out of his feet, Di Maria, and swept it out to Moises Keane on that left-hand side. As it was, he took an extra couple of touches, and the referee got in the way. He'll be a little bit bemused right now, will Di Maria, and he'll be a little bit embarrassed, the man in your picture, the referee.
Well, Damien Parchment, a referee of considerable experience, Jamaican, has refereed in the CONCACAF Nations League, the Gold Cup, CONCACAF Champions League. He's been doing so for some time as well. Also a physical education teacher in Kingston, for those of you wondering. In the meantime, Juventus continuing to show their physical muscle over Chivas Guadalajara. Here's Di Maria once again. Twinkle-toed Argentine manoeuvring through. Quadrado now. Sandro. Just away from the grasp of Angel Di Maria. Juventus continue to toy and tease on the cusp of the Chivas penalty area.
Yeah, and that's Alexandro as well, isn't it? The left back, manoeuvring his way up the field. Almost trying to be too precise there. I thought he could get the ball out of his feet and have his own strike on goal. Instead he tried to clip it into Di Maria. But Di Maria's been fantastic tonight, Callum, so far. He's been flitting from the right to the left. He's got that free roll. He can play anywhere he wants. and he's finding lovely little pockets of space as Di Maria, still clutching his rib cage, slightly the top of his rib cage after that blow from the referee, Damien Parchment. I'm sure he'll be all right though, Di Maria. He's been absolutely marvellous tonight.
A rare touch from Zaldivar of Chivas Guadalajara. How do Chivas get their number 9 more into the game, Matt?
Well, they need to possess the ball more to start off with, and it's very difficult to get it back off this well-skilled and well-oiled machine that is Juventus. Yes, they're early on in pre-season Juventus, but so many of these players know each other really, really well. And even the new players coming in, the likes of Di Maria and Paul Pogba, it's not difficult to play in a side with them. Give them the ball, lend it to them, and they will give it you back more often than not. It's tough for Chivas, as I've said more often than not. This is their reserve side. This is a side littered with inexperience rather than experience on the complete flip side. Yes, maybe not the strongest Juventus side they could put out, but so many experienced heads. And it's all fitting into place very nicely for Juventus at the moment.
Here come Chivas Guadalajara. Stopped in their tracks for the moment. Cleverly done. Zaldivar. Stood up by Danilo. The referee has blown in favour of Juventus, much to the dismay of several of those young guns of Chivas Guadalajara. He continues to show glimpses. There's the crux of the first team. We'll get to see several of those players in the second half at some stage.
Yeah, I think I'll take that from you, Callum. They've shown glimpses, Chivas Guadalajara. Glimpses of quality, but not a great deal of it in the final third. There's been some neat little touches in the middle third of the field, but not enough in that final third.
Di Maria. Options are plenty ahead. Here's Paul Pogba. Able to squeeze through. Chivas able to clear the danger. Here they come. Full of attacking thoughts now. No foul given. Cisneros now. Perez. Flipping it beautifully over to Sanchez on the far side. Garcia encouraged to shoot from the crowd. Cushioned header back inside. It's very well dealt with by Locatelli. Back into the path of Szczesny.
Cool, calm and collected from Locatelli. Rose well. Was facing his own goal as well. Could see that there was no Chivas players around. Just calmly headed it back, cushioned it back to Szczesny. And look, when they're not in possession of the ball, Juventus, they're working so hard off it. It's not always got to be to win the ball back, but it's to get back into position and be difficult to break down. When Chivas are attacking, so often there's 7, 8 of these black shirts behind the ball. Add Szczesny to that as well, 8 or 9 Juventus players behind the ball. So often here, they're really difficult to break down.
And the slew of opportunities continue to present themselves for Juventus, who so far find themselves leading by a goal to nil. Marco de Grassa, the goal scorer, for those of you joining us late. Here's Keane. He's had 1 or 2 speculative moments. Also 1 or 2 flashes of quality as well. This time stopped in his path by Pavel Perez.
Yeah, and for all the brilliance and the quality of Juventus, we mustn't forget that their goal has come from a set piece. It hasn't come from open play. At times, Juventus themselves have almost tried to be a little bit too precise in creating the openings or hitting the back of the net. Quite often not choosing the right options in and around that penalty area.
Locatelli. Extravagant Di Maria stopped in his tracks, this time by Ponce. Illegally, according to the referee.
does have that ability, Di Maria, just to go over. When touched, he protects the ball so very well too. He encourages players to put a challenge in, gets his body in between the defender and the ball. Anytime he feels a touch, he goes over.
Rado, that favoured left foot. Here's Keane. Moses Keane, able to find a pathway through. Really good from a defensive point of view, Matt.
Yeah, it was well watched. It doesn't matter how many step overs you do, the ball itself doesn't move. You keep your eye on the ball. And that was such good defending there from Chivas Guadalajara.
So Juventus now, the slew of possibility inside the penalty area. Chivas able to manoeuvre forwards. Here's Perez. Guiding Juventus forwards. Cisneros! Easily gathered at the near post by Chesney. Andrade with a moment of uncertainty. Battling the youngster Garcia. He was a little too abrasive for the referee's liking.
Well, here is that quick break from Chivas. It comes from the corner for Juventus. And Cisneros picks it up inside his own half. But you see the body swarming back for Juventus. And he's sent out wide by Locatelli. It's really good defending. And Cisneros, yes, he has a shot. Yes, it's on target. But it's really hard to beat a goalkeeper of the quality of Chesney from there.
Comfortable, composed and confident. Scioli. On the line he goes. Space here for Di Maria. Behind for a corner. We assume now the last potential opportunity before the half-time interval, which is cleared away. Looking towards several in Juve colours. So there we have the opening 45 minutes here in Las Vegas, Nevada. So far, the half and the game belonging to Juventus. The single solitary goal coming from Marco de Grassa inside the opening 10 minutes here in Las Vegas. Despite the best efforts of Juventus to try and breach Chivas Guadalajara for a second time, they failed. Chivas have offered glimpses, no doubt. At the break, it's Juventus 1, Chivas Guadalajara 0.
One car accident. Everything just fell apart. My car insurance dropped me. I got a ticket for driving uninsured, so I couldn't drive to work. Now I'm behind on the rent. What's next?
Need car insurance? A bad driving record doesn't have to stop you. Get coverage for as little as $20 down with Good To Go Auto Insurance and proof of insurance on the spot. Visit goodtogo.com and get things back on track. Visit goodtogo.com. That's good, the number 2, go.com.
Teaching her how to drive. But Dad, why not use Greenlight to help her save for her own car? Mowing lawns, getting paid. Oh, smoothies. Is that strawberry? Soon, she'll go from washing your car to flexing with her own. Even better, teach her how to invest in cars. Together, you can navigate the world of earning, saving, and investing. Because when you teach her how to be smart about